All right, so welcome again, everyone. So to this class, this will be our third session on this probability, and two sessions we have already done in the last class, and till now we have considered the basics, and we also discussed that how this probability can be associated with the set theory, that how to use the formulas related in which we discussed in the set theory. Okay, so now in this first of all we have discussed already addition theorem on probability, that how we add actually when different probabilities are there according which is associated also accordingly with the set theory, and then De Morgan's law we discussed. In the today's class we will be discussing conditional event, right, and then we will be discussing multiplication theorem on probability, and then independent event. Okay, so these are the topics that we will discuss today. Let's start. First of all, the conditional event. What is the meaning of conditional event? Conditional event are those events in which we will say that one event is happening given that the second event has already happened. Okay, suppose that it is saying ki, if b then a. Okay, it is saying that if b then a, or a given b, a given b. These are cases of conditional events. Okay, so it is saying that here is the event of interest and b is the already had occurred. Suppose that I'm saying ki, what is the probability of getting head, getting one head when already when two coins are tossed, already two coins were tossed. So now the probability you have to find out the getting the head. Okay, this is the interest, this is our interest, we have to find out. Two coins have already tossed, so this event has already happened. So a given b, a given b, okay, or b given a, vice versa, right? But not in this case, right? B given a means it will be the another case. So here we are saying that this representation of this conditional event is, representation of this conditional event is a by b, p a by e, a by b, sorry. Okay, let me give you an example here for conditional event. Suppose that probability you are there, right? You are there and you have to reach your school in the morning, right? So probability of reaching the school, probability of reaching the school is, let's say, 0.8. I'm just taking a random example. Then but probability of, then you are saying but probability of, sorry, probability of reaching the school when it's raining, when it's raining. So if it is raining, definitely this should be different. Okay, so see, you can see that when it is raining means the raining is already happening, means it is already happened. Now you have to reach the school, so your interest is to reach the school and raining is already happened. So you will write like this: probability of reaching the school, probability of reaching the school when raining, when it is raining, it is raining. Okay, it is an important topic. A lot of questions will be done from this topic, right? So be focused on this. Now similarly we can say, hmm, similarly we can say that yeah, so this is what we are saying. So if this is the event a, let's say this is the event b, so we can say p a by b, or we can say p a given b, p a given b. Okay, or if b then a. So you will just remember like this: p of a, probability of a given b. Okay, because given b means b has already happened. Now the probability, you already know that this is the basic form, that probability of any event with respect to the probability of its complement, when you add them, this will be equal to total probability, that is one only, maximum probability that can be one. And you also know that if you take the, so this is sorry, this is missing here. No, sorry, this is only, this complement is only on the a, this complement is only on this event a. Okay, this is only on the event a. So when you write this number of elements of a intersection b, plus number of elements of A complement intersection B, it will become B only. How? See this diagram. Okay, or I can show you here. If you draw like this, let's say A intersection B means the common region between A and B. This is A and B. And then A complement. How do you say the A complement? A complement means except A everything. Except A everything. This is A complement. But you have to take the A complement intersection B. So what will be the common region? What will be the common region? The common region will be like this. So when you write A complement intersection B, that will be nothing but this region only. This is B. Okay. So it is representing now nothing but A complement intersection B. So these are the number of elements of now. That's what we are saying. Sorry, this is total B. This is total B will be getting total B. Okay, because we have to take the union between them also, no? If you take the union between them, because we are adding here, see, we are adding here in this example, in this note point, we are adding them. You can see the addition part. So addition means here number we are using, so means we are taking the union. So when you take the union or you add them, it will be coming as cardinality of B. Cardinality of B. Now if you divide both side by cardinality of B only, so it will become what? Cardinality of A intersection B upon cardinality of B. Cardinality of A complement intersection B upon cardinality of B is equal to n number of means n of B upon n of B is equal to 1 only, right? Now in the left side only just divide by number of, or we can say the cardinality of sample space in the numerator and denominator. And when you do that, what is this and what is this? This is nothing but the probability of A intersection B. Okay, and this is what? The probability of probability of B only. Okay, and this is what? Probability of A complement intersection B, and this is nothing but probability of probability of B only. So in overall, in all and all, you will be getting this first equation which is given in this note point. PA by B, PA by B plus PA bar by B. That will be equal to 1. So from here what we can conclude? We can conclude that PA by B will be written as probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. So means if B is given, this will come in the denominator. Okay, and intersection part will come in the numerator. So it is given here, it is written here, if A is the event of interest, right, and B event has already occurred, then the probability of occurrence of event A given that event B has already occurred is conditional probability of A given B. It is denoted by P of A by B. Is it clear now? Or is there any doubt? Hmm. Union part for that B, which one? Here. So see, here we are using the cardinality, right? If you are using the cardinality, then you can say that you are adding them. You can use the mathematical symbol. But suppose if I am saying कि you have to take the union portion of these two sets. I'm not saying number of elements of sets, I'm just saying sets. So suppose that this A intersection B is, I am representing by C, and this A complement, sorry, this is complement, na? This is complement intersection B is, I am representing this by D. So adding the cardinality of these two sets means C union D you are doing. Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Two terms are there. No. No. Actually, what we are saying, these are the already defined set, na? These are already defined set. All right. So what is your question actually? Tell me. No, here I am giving you the diagram also. Can you see the diagram? It is clearly showing you what we need. What we need. It is already given key number of elements of A intersection B plus number of elements of A complement intersection B. If we add them, this will come the total number of elements in B only. All right. So what is the B? B is this one. You can see B is this one. This is total B. Now how we can get this B? We can get this B if we take the union portion of there are multiple ways, of course there are multiple ways we can take, but for the proof purpose we are taking this in this way. Okay, there are multiple ways we can represent this B, but for the proof purpose we are using this one. So what we are saying ki we have to take first of all the intersection of A and B, which will be the common portion. This is one here, right? Then we have to take the intersection of A complement B, which is this portion, yellow color one. And when you take the union of these two portion, you will be getting what? Union of this portion, you will be getting this total portion B. You will be getting this total portion B. And that is what here is. Now it is clear. Okay. Just a second. Someone has joined, I guess. Okay. Let's go to the next one. So this is the formula which says that if A is the event of interest and B has already occurred, then we will say probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, right? And now there is a note point here again. In this we can say if A and B are any two events of sample space U, sample space is U and A and B are two events, and another event F is also the part of U, such that probability of F is not 0, means this is a defined, we can say the probability is defined for this event. That means this event is happening actually. So we will say if F event is already happened, so it means we can write like this: probability of A union B slash. This slash is also saying that A union B you have to find out F is already happened. So this is already happened. This has already happened, and this you have to find out. Okay, that is an event of interest. So it is given that if A and B are any two events and F is also of U, then we can write like this: probability of A union B slash F is equal to probability of A slash F plus probability of B slash F minus probability of A intersection B slash F. This is the same formula, I think you know, that is a probability of A union B is equal to probability of A, that we discussed in the set theory. But here the different thing is that we can use this in the conditional event also, conditional probability also. We can use this formula in the conditional probabilities also. Okay, so suppose an example here. For example, let's say consider the experiment in which 3 fair coins are tossed, and I am saying, let's say E is the event which is saying that at least 2 heads occur or appear, okay, or appears. And the F is the event which says first coin shows tail, right? So first what you will be writing, you have to write the probability of event E and probability of event F. So if coin is tossed 3 times, then how many elements in the sample space you will be having? 8, right? 2 to the power 3, because a coin can have 2 possibilities, and since we are tossing it 3 times, so 2 to the power 3. And what are the possibilities you will be getting? Either you can get the head, or you can get the right, or you can get the head tail, or you can get the head tail head, or you can get the head uh, tail and tail, right? Then the next is tail tail, then tail and head, then tail head and tail, and then tail and head. These are the 8 possibilities you can get from here, right? Now if you write the probabilities of E, or we can say the number of events of E, so what will be the probability? uh, at least two heads should occur. So at least two heads. How many elements are there? For probability of E, how many elements are there? Hmm. Only two elements are there and total eight. Two or four? One second. At least two head, na? So at least means what? Minimum two, maximum three also can possible. So minimum two. That is, this is also possible. One, two, three. Okay. So three, and one more should be there. One second. T T H T H. Okay, this has been written two times. T H H is there. Yeah. So this is four. So 4 by 8 is the possibility, that is 1 by 2, right? Similarly, for this probability of F, it is saying first coin shows tail. What is the possibility of a coin showing tail? No, only tail means a coin is tossed only once, let's say, and sorry, first coin shows tail. First coin shows tail means the first possibility should be tail. So here in this TTT, TTH, THT, and THH, these four possibilities are there again. So 4 by 8, that means 1 by 2, right? Okay. Now suppose that I'm saying that F has already occurred. F has already occurred. Already occurred means the first coin is already tail. Okay, first toss, you have tossed the coin and first coin is already tail. So so event E, okay, now we have to find out the probability of getting event E. Okay, probability of getting event E. So event E, probability of event E when F has already occurred. What should be the probability? For that, first of all, we know the formula, right? What is the formula? That if we want to find out E by F, because F has already occurred, it will be nothing but P if E intersection F upon P F. So we need that. What is the intersection part? Or we can say we need the probability of intersection E intersection F. So for that, we are going to see again what should be the probability of A intersection F. Means what are the total number of elements common between them. What are the total number of elements common between them? Yes, 1 by 8 or 1 by 4. 1 by 8. Okay, only one element will be common, so 1 by 8 is a possibility. Just put the values here and you will get the answer, right? When you put this, when you put the value, you will be getting P E by F as 1 by 8 upon probability of E, sorry, probability of F. F has already occurred, 1 by 2. So the answer is 1 by 4. So conditional probability of E when F is already given is 1 by 4. This is what is the actual meaning of conditional events. Okay, now we are having one question here. Next question. This is saying that let A and B be two non-null set events. Non-null events means they are they are having some elements, right? They are not zero elements, or we can say they're not null events. Okay, such that A is a subset of B. A is already given as a subset of B. Means whatever the number of elements of A are there, these are the parts of B also. Okay, means these are occurring in the set B also. Then which of the following statement is always correct? This has been asked in 2019. Alright, so let's see how to solve. You know that we just discussed probability of A when B is already happened, right? Just a second. C option. C option is not correct. Okay, let's see. So probability of A by B is probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, right? Okay. Now can you tell me A is a subset of B, means all the number of elements which are in B, which are in A, these are in B also. Means B is a superset, na? So can I write like this? Can I draw like this? This is A. So A is a subset of B, means the number of elements of set A are totally lying in the B. So if I ask you to find out from here what is the probability of A intersection B, that should be written as what? If you write the number of elements of A intersection B, that will be nothing but simply A only. Sorry, I think we have written this. A is a subset of B, right? Correct. Okay, A. So this will become what? Simply A only. The common portion is what is only A, right? The probability of A intersection B in this case becomes probability of A only. So therefore, we can say that probability of A by B, just a second. So we can directly say that probability of A by B will be equal to, this value will become what? Probability of A only upon probability of B, right? So this is the case is happening. So now can you tell me that if the B event has already occurred, this is meaning what? The B has already occurred. So what could be the possibility for the probability of B? What could be the possibility of probability B? It can be 0 to 1. It can be between 0 to 1. Right? 0 is not possible because A is already a subset of B. If A is already a subset of B, and 0 is also not possible because they are also saying non-null sets or non-null events. Sorry, they are already saying non-null events. So 0 is not possible. Probability of the non-null event cannot be 0 because there should be at least one element there, and that will give you the probability of event B. Okay, so if probability of B is lying between 0 to 1, so can we say that probability of A by B will be actually nothing but greater than probability of A only? Okay, because this maximum value can be 1, so we can take, let's say, 1. So if you take that, this value should be what? Either greater than or equal to, only one option is matching, right? You can see. So B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Which option you have said? C or D? B is the correct one. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next question. Will you try this? Probability of A is given as 1 by 2. Probability of B is given as 1 by 3. Probability of A intersection B is given as 1 by 4. And then they are asking that probability of A complement. This is complement given, right? This is here, complement is given. A complement, sorry, B complement, A complement. Means they are asking you to find out the probability of B complement when A complement has already occurred. Okay. So in this case, if you see, we have to use the formula, or we can say we have to use the De Morgan's law, because we know that probability of B complement when A complement has already happened, if we write by the formula, by the conditional event, this should be written as probability of B intersection probability of B complement intersection A complement divided by probability of A complement. Remember that whichever the event has already occurred, that will come in the denominator here. Okay, whichever the event has already occurred, that will come in the denominator here, and in the numerator you will have to take the intersection portion. Now our bigger problem is this part, numerator part. Okay, because this we can easily find out, because we know probability of A is given as 1 by 2. So probability of A bar will be nothing but simply 1 minus 1 by 2. Okay, because total probability is 1, so 1 minus 1 by 2. How to find out this probability of B complement intersection A complement? So here we are going to use the De Morgan's law, which says that probability of B complement intersection A complement can be written as probability of A union B whole complement. If you are not satisfied with this, go with the Venn diagram, check whether this set and this set is same or no. You will see these are same. Okay, when you draw them you will see the same region. So but how to write the P A union B of complement? That you can write like this: 1 minus probability of A union B. So now you have to just find out the probability of A union B, and that's it, your answer is done. And probability of A union B you can also find out by the formula, the set formula. That is, we can write this as probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. That's it. So this will give you the value of probability of B complement intersection A complement. Okay, can you put that value? Quickly tell me what is the answer. I think all the values are given to you, right? Probability of A is given. This value is given to you as 1 by 2. This is given as 1 by 3, and this is given as 1 by 4. So 6 and 2, 12. Finally, I think you will be getting 12 and then 7. So 5 by 12. So this will give you the value as probability of B complement intersection A complement as 5 by 12. So we got this value. We already have the value of A complement, that is 1 by 2. Therefore the answer will be what? Probability of B complement slash A complement is equal to 5 by 12 upon 1 by 2, and that will give you what? 5 by 6 as the answer. The first option. Right? Is it clear? Okay, let's go to the next question then. Yeah. Huh. P of less than of PA. Yeah, because see, because in here B has already occurred na. So B has already occurred, A is we are finding out, and it is also given that B is basically uh, is acting as a superset, right? It is acting as a superset. So this, so maximum value of the probability of B can be 1. So it is what? Equal to PA. So instead of that we can just write like this: probability of greater than equal to PA, not less than, right? Not less than, because one of the event has already happened. We don't know the A, but B has already occurred. So whichever has occurred first, it should given the priority, right? So greater than equal to A. Okay. This is, that is also the way. Yeah. Yes. 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 That is also the way you can say. Correct. Okay. Okay. All right. So this question is already done. Next question. Now here again, sorry. Now here again we are going to implement the uh, permutation combination. Okay, because clearly you can see the question is saying two integers are selected at random from the set 1 to 11. So 1 to 11 we have been given the 11 uh, numbers here, right? 11 numbers here. Given that the sum of selected numbers is even. Now see, given that the sum of selected number is even, the conditional probability that both the numbers are even means we have to define the events here first. So let's say I'm saying that A is the event which is saying sum of the selected number is even. So means sum is even. I'm saying that A is the event in which I'm saying sum is even. And what should be the B? The conditional probability that both the numbers are even means both numbers are even. Right? Now first of all you have to think in this, what is that? Ki when you will get the sum as even. Okay, so if I ask you that what are the possibilities when you can get even? When you add odd plus odd, that will give you the even, right? And when you add even plus even, then you will be getting the even only, right? If you add odd plus even, that will give you the odd number, so we cannot select that. All right, so if we want the condition odd plus odd, can you tell me for this, out of 11 numbers 1 to 11, how many numbers can be selected if we want the sum as to be odd plus odd only? That means we are selecting the odd numbers only. Yes. In the 1 to 12, 1 to 11, 2 is the even, 1 is the odd, 3 is the even, 1 3 5 7 9 11, 6 number, right? So if both the numbers should be selected odd, that means 6 total number, but at a time you have to select 2, na 2 have 2 you have to add, so 6c2. Is that clear? Similarly, if I am asking you, find the total number when you take both the number even and when you add them, so that you can get the even only. So 2 4 6 and 8 and 10, right? So you will be getting 5, so that means 5c2, right? Can you add them? 6c2, we have to add them, right? Add them. Why? Because either this condition can happen or this condition can happen, na? Or possibility is there, either they can be both odd, so that you will be getting the even number, or either, so here we are talking about the event a only. First of all, we are talking about the event a only. So either they can be both odd or they can be both even. So since the sense of or is there, so we have to add them. So 6c2 plus 5c2, 6c2 is 6 into 5 30 by 2 15, plus 5c2 is 20 by 10, that is uh, 20 by 2, that is 10, 25. So can we say that the number of elements of A is 25? Remember, I'm not saying the probability here. Okay, this is the favorable outcome, you can say. What is the sample space? You have 11 numbers. You have total 11 numbers, and two numbers you have to select at a time. So can you say that the sample space will be simply nothing but 11c2, and when you solve it, 11 into 10, that is 55. So sample space is 25 and cardinality of A is 25, sorry, sample space is 55 and cardinality of A is uh, 25. So we can say the probability of A will be 25 upon 55, right? Okay, so let's go to the next page then. But the question is saying both numbers are even and okay, so we have to find out the both numbers are even when given that the sum of selected, sum is already selected. So actually they are asking you b by a, right? Not a by b, because wherever the given word is used, that means that has already happened. So if b by a they are asking, then it means it will be nothing but probability of a intersection b upon probability of a. That's why the probability of a was needed. Okay, that we have already found out. Probability of a is nothing but number of elements of A upon number of elements of sample space, that is I think 25 by 55. Now we have to find out the common part, or we can say the probability of A intersection B. Okay, so if both the common parts means what, in both the number should be what, even only. Okay, we need that in both the number should be even only. So that will be what, 5c2 only, na? Because we need that the number should be what, even, number should be even. Okay, so two numbers will be added in such a way that they both are even. So for that only 5 elements are there, 5c2, sorry. So 5c2 means you will say probability of A intersection B can be written as number of elements of A intersection B upon number of sample space. So 5c2 is the total number of elements you will be getting in the intersection B, and it is 11c2. So again it will be nothing but 5 into 4 20, then 10, and this is 55. Take the ratio and you will get the answer. Put the values here. So this is 25 by 50, 10 by 55 upon 25 by 55. So the answer is 5 to the 10 and 5. So 2 by 5 is the right answer for this question. Right? Any doubt in this part? You don't need to write. I just showed you, right? I just showed you so that you can understand. Okay. Actually, you can directly find out the probability, right? This is just the extra part that I'm showing you. Okay, you can just directly find out this like this. Probability of A is nothing but what is that? 5C2 into 6C2, sorry, plus 6C2 upon what was it? Uh, this is total number of probability, right? This is total number of probability, and sorry, 11C, right? 11C2, sorry, like this. So probability, this formula you're saying left one. Huh, n of intersection means probability of intersection B by probability of A. Na, you're saying. But here, we have to write every time that event which is the probability of that event which has already occurred. I told you, no? So in this case, A has already occurred. That means the sum is already even. Now we are finding out whether that sum is basically coming from adding both the odd numbers or both the even numbers. Okay. So this denominator portion will always be written for that event which has already occurred. 4 is the answer for this next question. So this question has been asked in JEE Main 2020. As you can see, the question is saying a die is thrown 2 times and the sum of the scores appearing on the die is observed to be multiple of 4. Sum, remember that sum. Then the conditional probability that the score 4 has appeared at least once is. So again we can define the events. Okay. So first it is saying sum obtained is multiple of 4. So we will write sum. First event is sum obtained is multiple of 4. You can write like this. Okay, and here second event is, it is saying that score 4 has appeared at least once. So score, we need score of 4 appeared at least once. So from the question only we are going to define these events. All right, now let's write the elements of A. Acha, first of all, a number of sample space. What are the sample space in this you'll be getting? Because a die is thrown 2 times, so 6 into 6, that is 36. Okay, now we have to write those elements in which sum is 4 or multiple of 4. So first is 1 comma 3, second is 3 comma 1. Okay, so first I am writing with the starting with the 1, then the next is 2 comma 2 comma 2, then 2 comma 6. 2 comma 6 is not the multiple of sum obtained is multiple of 4. Okay, let's write 2 comma 6, then 3 comma 5, and then 4 comma 4, 5 comma 3, 6 comma 6, 6 comma 2 is also there, 6 comma 2, 6 comma 6. 2 comma 6 is 8, nah, that's fine. Then B elements of B. Element of B. B is saying that at least 4 should appear once. At least 4 should appear once. Right, so it is saying that sum should be 4 and multiple of 4, that's okay. But at least one of the elements should be 4 in each toss or in each throws. Alright. So we are going to write that event in which one 4 is there, at least one 4 is there. So 1 comma 4, it can happen like this: 2 comma 4, then 3 comma 4, then 5 comma 4, then 6 comma 4, and of course 4 comma 4 is also there. 4 comma 4 is also there, then 4 comma 1 is also there, 4 comma 2 is also there, 4 comma 3, and 4 comma 6, sorry, 5 is also there, and then 4 comma 6. Okay, this is the way we can write the elements. This is the way we can write the elements. Now we need the probability that at least 4 has appeared once. So what is the probability of B? First of all, probability of B is nothing but, what is it? We need the probability of B by A, right? We need the probability of B by A because score 4 should appear at least once, such that sum obtained is already 4. Sum obtained is already multiple of 4. Okay, the probability of B will be nothing but simply how many elements are there? 4 and 5, 9. So these are total 9. So 9 by 36 is the probability of B, right? Probability of A we don't need, rather we need the probability of B intersection A. B intersection A means those number in which 4 should appear at least once, as well as sum which is obtained should be a multiple of 4, right? So I will show you that number can be only one here, which is 4 comma 4 and 4 comma 4. Yes or no? That is only one possible number. Because 4 should also appear, na? At least one 4 should also be appeared. According to A, this is the possibility. According to B, everything is a possibility, but multiple should also be a 4. So 4 comma 4. That's why one possibility is there only. So one possibility means 1 by 36. So therefore, the probability of B by A will be equal to probability of B intersection A upon probability of A. Yes, probability of, so it should be probability of A only, sorry. 9 elements in the probability of A also we are getting now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 second. Sum obtained is 4. Yes, someone is asking something. Where did we do the mistake? 1 by 9. 1 by 9. Yes, tell me. For B 1, no. See, sum obtained is multiple of 4, right? So according to that, 1 3 are true. Okay, but it is also saying score of 4 appeared at least once. Score of 4 appeared at least once means, if we take the common portion, it means it is a multiple of 4 also, and score of 4 means at least one score of 4 is also possible. So that is only one possibility, that is 4 comma 4. So if you write the elements of set sorry, elements of A intersection B, that will be only one element, 4 comma 4. Getting this point? So where did we score appeared at least once? So we are finding out A here, right? Sorry, what is the possibility? Have we done some mistake for? So it is A only, right? So this is A. This is not B, this is A. Okay, both of them I think will give you the same answer because 9 elements are there in the both A and B. So 9 by 36. So this will be nothing but, when you take the value, it will be 1 by 9. Put the values and you'll be getting the answer as 1 by 9. Fourth option. Okay, fourth option is the correct answer. Yeah. Hmm. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Dividing it by means simply we are dividing by probability of A, and in the numerator we are taking intersection A intersection B or B intersection A, whatever you say. Both are same thing. Ha, exactly. But the total possibility sample space should be there, na? You forgot that. Sample space is 36, whether it is for event A or whether it is for event B. For both of them, the sample space is 36 only. Okay. This event of A you are finding out from where? From the total sample space, no? You are writing from the total sample space, no? Okay. Next one, multiplication theorem on probability. So it is not very difficult part. Okay, in the multiplication theorem we say that if two events are there A and B, okay, and A intersection B also can be written as B, AB, right? A and B or AB. So this denotes that simultaneous occurrence of the events A and B means probability of A slash B. You already know this formula. Probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, conditional event formula. If you take this probability of B here, that means just cross multiply them, you will be getting this first equation. That means probability of A intersection B can be written as probability of B into probability of A given B. Similarly, probability of B given A, you also know the formula. Just the reverse case will happen. That is, in the denominator, this A will come. Okay, and then same again multiply that. You will be getting the second equation, right? Now these both are the same thing. You can say that probability of A intersection B, whether you are finding out A intersection B or B intersection A, right? In both the case, you will be getting the same region. So if it is the same, then that means what? These will be equal. The product, this intersection B will be equal to the product of this probability of A into probability of B given A, or probability of B into probability of A given B. Okay, this is the multiplication theorem we generally use. Now there is a question related on this, right? Let's take that question quickly. This is the question, and this question has multiple answers correct. All right, the question says that the let x and y be the two events such that probability of x is equal to 1 by 3, probability of x is equal to 1 by 3, probability of x given y, probability of x given y is equal to 1 by 2, and probability of y given x is equal to 2 by 5. First and second option is correct. Good. Okay, so quickly let's calculate it. So first of all, we need the y. Okay, we need y, and that y we can calculate from where? Correct. X given y. So probability of x given y we can write like this: probability of x intersection y upon probability of y. Right. So probability of x intersection y will be nothing but probability of y into probability of x in x given y. So this value we already know, 1 by 2. This we have to find out. X intersection y we have to find out. And how will we find out that? Yes, any idea? Okay. Using y given x. Okay, you are saying that if we use this y by x, so but about the again the intersection will create the problem. Okay, So let's say that it is x intersection y, y intersection x, or x intersection y upon p of x. This value we already know 1 by 3. Okay, this value we already know 2 by 5. So we can just get the value from here. 2 by 5 into 1 by 3. That will be 2 by 15. Yes, it is correct. So 2 by 15 is this value, and so definitely x intersection y, this is not the answer. Okay, union we don't need, we need to find out first now the y. So we can just put directly here. Okay, and when you put that, you will get the answer, you will get the value of y. So from here, probability of y will be equal to probability of x intersection y upon probability of x slash y. So this will be 2 by 15 upon slash is 1 by 2. It will give you 4 by 15. So yes, first option is correct. Okay, one of the option is correct for first option. Let's go to the next part. Now we will discuss the, okay, so the fourth option is already eliminated, right? Fourth option is not need to, and first option is the answer. Now we'll discuss the second and third. In the second one, we will be discussing in this way. We have discussed the proof of this, right? So remember that I told you probability of x slash y plus probability of x complement slash y will be equal to 1. In the starting only proof I told you this part. This is 1, right? So from here we can say probability of x complement intersection y is equal to, sorry, complement slash y is equal to probability of x slash y, and that is given as 1 minus 1 by 2, so 1 by 2. So this is also correct. Second option is also correct. Let's talk about the third option. So third option, we already know the x intersection y value. We have already calculated that. What was it? 2 by 15. Y intersection x, or you write x intersection y, both are the same thing. Probability of x is already given here, 1 by 3. Probability of y we have already found out, 4 by 15. Now you can use the formula of, you can use this formula, that is probability of a intersection b, sorry, union b. So here if we are having x y, so let's take this x y only. So probability of x union y is equal to probability of x plus probability of y minus probability of x intersection y. So this value will be 1 by 3 plus 4 by 15 minus 2 by 15. So it will be 5 plus 4, 9, 9 minus 2, 7. 7 by 15 is the answer. But here it is saying that 2 by 15. So it is also not correct. So two options are correct, A and B, and that's it. So this question has been asked in JEE Advanced 2017. Okay, this was the advanced question. So you must have to study carefully because they can ask the question from any of the topics. So A and B are the correct answer. Next question. Next question is the card based problem. Three cards are drawn successively without replacement. Without replacement means one card has been taken out, then it has not been put it back. Okay, so after one replacement, after one drawn card, you will be having 51 card. Then again, second card, if you drawn out, only 50 card will be left. Again, you will drawn out one more card, 49 card will be left. Okay, this is how you have to draw. So this is saying that replacement, without replacement of pack of 52 playing cards, the probability that first two cards are kings, first two cards are kings, and third card is queen. Okay, so let's find out this. First two cards are king, that is king, king, and the third card is queen. Okay, so what is the possibility? I think it is a simple question, you can directly find out like this. Probability of king, probability of king, first card as king. What is the probability? How many total kings are there? 4. So 4 by 52, right? Then the next probability will be what? Remember that one after another card has been drawn, right? So don't use that the conventional method, that if one card has been drawn already, so the next is probability is what? 3 by 51. Definitely this is 3 by 51, right? So but you will write like this: probability of first king card, given that one king card has already occurred. This has already occurred for the second event, right? So what is the probability? Of course 3 by 51. 51 is the answer because it is the king only. But the last part is that two kings has already occurred now. Two kings has already occurred and you need the queen. The probability of getting queen when both the kings, when two kings card has already occurred. What should be the probability? Tell me. Correct. 4 by 50, because the queen are already 4. They have not been removed yet. So total queen was 4. So the answer is what? Simply multiply them. Required probability. Acha, why multiply them? How to understand that? Because one after another the thing is happening. This and this and this. So the sense of and is there. So we have to multiply the probabilities. When the sense of or is there, we have to add the probabilities. Right? And that also, that way also we can find out, right? But it is the direct way because it is like an easy question, right? Of course that way also we are getting the same answer. 4 answer, 4 will be the this one and the sample space. Okay, the same thing. These are not independent. Why? Because one, if one is occurring, then the second will happen after this, na? These are not independent. So in that case, na, in that case we will consider them. Yes, yes, of course. In that case, that will not work, because queen and king you will be getting the zero possibility in that case then. Yes. So that will not work here, right? Next is independent events only. You said it already. So independent events means the occurrence of one element, or sorry, occurrence of one events or non-occurrence of one event does not affect the occurrence of other event. Okay, so it is saying if two events are such that occurrence or non-occurrence of one does not affect the chance of occurrence or non-occurrence of the other event, then the events are said to be independent events, right? And what is the formula for that? The same multiplication formula. What we can say, that if events A and B are independent event, it means if they are independent events, in that case probability of A slash B, or we can say probability of A given B, will be purely equal to A only, right? Why is that? Because if you see, probability of A slash B is probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, right? And when you take these two equation, when you take these two equation, this A intersection B will be equal to probability of A into probability of B. So we can simply say कि in the case of independent events, probability of A intersection B is simply nothing but the product of the probability of both the events, right? This will be the product of the probability of the both the events. So events which are not independent are known as, of course, dependent events. This is the vice versa statements, right? So if I ask you for independent events, for independent events, the formula for probability of A union B, probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B is there, right? And since it is independent events, so this value will be written as probability of A into probability of B. Okay, so from now onwards will be using this. So this keep in this mind, right? Some anywhere it can be used in the question. Next question. Consider the experiment. Consider the experiment. Drawing a card from a deck of 52 well shuffled cards. Event A is a card is a spade. Event B card is an ace. And event C card is a red. Then it is saying check if event A and B are independent event or no. Okay, we have to check first. So first of all, tell me if the card is spade, then what is the possibility? What is the probability? Total, how many spade are there? 13 spade cards are there. So 13 by 52, that means 1 by 4 simply, right? Similarly, the next one, the card is an ace. How many cards are ace there? 4 ace are there, right? So it means 4 by 52 or simply 1 by 13. The probability of B will be 1 by 13. And similarly, if you asked, it is asking that the card is red, how many total cards are red here? 26 cards are red. 26 by 52, that will give you what? 1 by 2 only. The probability of C is 1 by 2. Okay, now let's find out the independency between them. So the probability of occurrence of, okay, first of all, if I say probability of B slash A means probability of B when A has already occurred, because first it is asking event A and B are independent, right? So let's say like this, we are saying the probability of B intersection A upon probability of A. Now first of all, tell me whether there is anything common between these two event, first and two, A and B. A card is in spade, a card is in space. Sorry, sorry. One. Exactly. One is a possibility because a card is a spade means 13 card of spade. A card is an ace means one of the card is ace, right? So of course one is a possibility. So we can say 1 out of total possibility is 52. Probability of A is already given as 1 by 4, so it will be 1 by 13. Right? So the probability of occurrence of event A is not affecting the probability of occurrence of event B. So in this case we can say event A and B are independent. So you must write a statement. So probability of occurrence of event A doesn't affect the occurrence of event B. Why? Hmm. Mhm. But that's why we have found out the P by B by A, na? Hmm. P B by A and P A by B. Ah, P A dot P B. Is it correct? They're different, na? The probability are different, na? Okay. Huh. You can say that if we are finding out the conditional event, then they are like the dependency is there. But initially, when you are finding out the probability, they are different. They are independent. Okay. So A and B are independent. And what about the A and C? What about the A and C? If we find out the probability of A intersection C, can anyone tell me what is the probability of A intersection C? A card is a spade means black card. A card is a red means red card. Is there any common thing? Right? So this is 0. So if it is 0, then they will be called as A and C will be called as mutually exclusive. That is nothing common between them. Right? They will be called as mutually exclusive only. Okay. Alright. So this is it. And now we are going to understand one last topic and then the last question. No, if it is mutually exclusive already, so that means we cannot say na ki if the one event is happened, then second event can happen or no. Is conditional 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 probability we cannot find. Conditional probability will be zero. Yes. Okay. Next thing is event A and B are independent. Then complement of A and B are also independent. Right. These are some I can say the further parts, further points of this that we can conclude that if A and B are independent, complement of A and B are also independent. A and complement of B are also independent, and complement of A and complement of B or B are also independent. Okay. Next is condition for three events to be independent. So if three events to be independent, in that case, A intersection B should be equal to product of PA and PB. Okay. Then similarly PB and PC, similarly PC and PA. This is what we call pairwise independency. Okay. In the pairs, they are having the independency between them. So it means that when you find out the probability of A intersection B intersection C in the all the three events, then this will be simply multiplication of all the probabilities, right? And the next thing is the number of conditions for n events to be independent. Means uh, if the number of events are n, let's say, and you want to find out the conditions for to be them independent, those conditions will be uh, nc2, right? Because at least two events should be there at a time. So nc2, nc3, nc4 up to ncn, and you know that nc0 plus nc1 up to ncn, this can be written as 2 to the power n. This is the direct result from the permutation combination. Okay, and that will be written as minus. So we need only from nc2 to ncn, so this value will go to the right side. Okay, we will subtract them. So nc0 is 1 already, nc1 is n, so that's why it is 2 to the power n minus n plus 1. All right, any doubt up to here, anyone? Hmm. Which one? Means the number means the number of events are n. Okay, you can consider like this: the number of events are n, then we are finding out the number of conditions for them to be independent. This condition actually, number of conditions means how pairwise we will doing that. Like this pairwise we are doing here, two events we are taking at a time, no? Okay, so this is one condition, this is second, this is third. So how many conditions like that will happen? Okay, so this is the question, last question, and I am giving you to try this at your home. In throwing a pair of dice, the event coming up of 6 on first die and total 7 on the both dice are. Okay, so this take as the homework, and then we are done for today. So for this the answer is B. You can take the answer also. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you, and now we can wrap the session.